Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, we've got some big trouble and a little rundown.
Plus, we take a closer look at one of the Star Wars play sets from Disney Infinity 3.0.
Destroy your droids! No, sir! No, sir!
And then we're heading to prison for a review of the new season of Orange is the New Black.
How am I back here?
Aw, it's so nice to see you guys back together.
Also coming up, I take Geometry Wars 3 out of my pocket. Stephen Raju unleashed some collateral damage and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. Everything is awesome, and the rundown is no exception, so let's get started. LEGO has taken on Minecraft one brick at a time. Take a look at LEGO Worlds, a new game for the PC where players can build their own LEGO creations in a massive open world. You'll be able to make anything you want and then check out what other players have built. And there's also landscaping tools, prefabricated structures, and different characters and creatures to discover. Yep, it's a LEGO version of Minecraft. It shouldn't surprise anyone that LEGO is interested in taking on that market, given that Minecraft is worth about $2.5 billion. LEGO Worlds is currently under construction in Steam Early Access. Expect the final version to be available later this year. Another new LEGO title, the toy/game hybrid LEGO Dimensions, will hit consoles this September. The remake of Big Trouble in Little China has found its lead, and he's a big one. Multiple sources report that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is set to play Jack Burton, the wisecracking truck driver played by Kurt Russell in the original film. This follows the debut of Johnson's latest film, San Andreas, which saw the biggest opening weekend for a movie with him as the sole lead. The original Big Trouble came out in 1986 and revolved around a sinister supernatural plot in San Francisco's Chinatown. It failed at the box office, but has since become a cult classic. Many fans are angry that a remake is on the way, so it remains to be seen if The Rock can win them over.
Hang on!
Some gigantic stuff today in the rundown. I'm not just talking about The Rock's muscles. Here's my great pal, Marissa Roberto.
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China starring Dwayne Johnson.
I do like Dwayne Johnson.
We all do.
Yeah, I really do like him a lot.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He delivered some real cheeseball moments in a movie that we just saw recently,
The Furious 7. Yeah. And then again in San Andreas.
Then again in San Andreas.
Where he punched an earthquake and said, sit down.
Right. So I feel like he would be great for this role.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not sure why it's getting remade.
Well, I think this was a cult movie, as we discussed in the rundown, and I think that this has not maybe been seen by everybody out there, and I think that there's a lot of fun cheesiness that could be, upgraded with some pretty cool modern visual effects.
Sure.
And this guy, I mean, I think he's as charming as Kurt Russell was in his day.
He's so charming,
yeah,
for sure.
Right?
But do remakes make people go back and watch the original, though?
Not so much, and I think that's probably why people are up in arms, because there's still lots of people left to discover this really cool movie that is kind of a cult classic out there. I know it's one of Jose's favorite films. I really enjoy it, too.
Yeah.
John Carpenter is the director of that classic movie, and he's given us a whole bunch of stuff, and the thing that's ironic here is that he has done remakes, and they've been good, like The Thing, and then his remake has been remade, and it was terrible. The Thing remake was awful, and we know what the batting average is on these cinematic remakes. Not very good.
I don't know. I'm just not getting my hopes up, but I hope that he's amazing. I know he'll be amazing. Dwayne Johnson will be awesome.
I think it'll be fun, and I think that updating all the effects and stuff like that will only serve this movie and make it look really cool.
Sure.
But something else that looks like it may be kind of being remade is Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
With Lego bricks. Lego Worlds. What do you think?
Now that I'm seeing all of this and seeing it all unfold, the first thing I think of is, why hasn't this come out already? Like, why don't we already have this? It just seems like it makes perfect sense. Of course, why wouldn't I want to build a world of endless Lego around me?
The Lego games have attempted similar types of things in the past, but I think it's been a case of technology sort of catching up with effortlessness of building and stuff like that. I think this is going to be a big business.
But it's always been a big business.
Yes.
It's true. Lego's just always been there. It's always been giving us more and more. We want it. Honestly, we eat it up. I love the fact that I'm going to be able to be a master builder.
Yes. It's crazy. Well, from one toy to a game to a game to a toy, here's Disney Infinity 3.0.
Looks like we have visitors. Let's hope they come in peace.
John Vignacchi is going to have another busy year bringing us Disney Infinity. This is a surprise to no one. We've got Star Wars coming this year.
Okay, yeah. Worst kept secret in the game industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Now the cat is out of the bag. We know Star Wars is coming. Give us an overview of the many different ways that Star Wars is coming in 2015.
I mean, absolutely. If you want the complete Star Wars experience, you're going to have it inside of Disney Infinity. So we have announced 3 play sets that are going to be a part of Disney Infinity 3.0. It's going to start with our starter pack, which comes with the Twilight of the Republic play set. And that's set during the Clone Wars era and is inspired by events from episodes 1, 2, and 3. You're going to have a lot of different playable characters from that era inside of that playset. Also, we're going to have a playset that's based on episodes 4, 5, and 6. We call that Rise Against the Empire. Now, that playset is going to have Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, Darth Vader, and then, of course, we also announced that there is a playset that will be the official playset, the official game for the Star Wars The Force Awakens film, which is out this holiday. And one of the coolest things that we have going on this year, too, Victor, is that all the different Star Wars characters can actually cross over into each other's storylines. So it's not like before where, if you're playing inside of Twilight of the Republic, you actually couldn't have Luke Skywalker inside there. That's out the window. Now you can have all of your favorite Star Wars characters inside of all of your favorite Star Wars experiences.
Unbelievable. That's very cool. Now, is everything coming out at the exact same time?
No.
How are you doing this?
Well, this is probably the toughest thing for Star Wars fans. We're releasing them in waves. So at launch, we're going to have the Twilight of the Republic playset. Then, shortly thereafter, we're going to have the Rise Against the Empire playset, the episodes 4, 5, and 6 playset. And then, after that, in conjunction with the film, we'll have the Force Awakens playset.
So there's a lot of old fanboys like myself that prefer the classic trilogy. Okay. But you're not starting with the classic trilogy. That's not going to be the first one. You're still honoring episode 1 through 3. We're still going to be playing as Jar Jar Binks.
So So Jar Jar is in, just in case people are wondering. Oh! Destroy your droids! No, sir! No, sir! But what's interesting about that, and to your point, is that people are like, why wouldn't you start with episodes 4, 5, and 6? And the answer is quite simple. Go and ask your kids, or go and ask kids that you know. They're actually most familiar with the Clone Wars in episodes 1, 2, and 3. That's the Star Wars that they grew up with versus the Star Wars we grew up with, which is episodes 4, 5, and 6. So the key thing is that we are ultimately a kids and family game, and we want to make sure that kids love and know exactly everything that's going on, which is why we wanted to put Anakin inside the starter pack, as well as Ahsoka Tano, who, of course, if you guys have seen the Clone Wars animated series, is one of the main characters, strong female Jedi. That's why we went Clone Wars first, and then Rise Against the Empire, so us older guys can turn around and say, this is the Star Wars I grew up with, to all of our kids and nephews and family.
Disney Infinity 3.0 comes out this fall, and I, for one, cannot wait.
Okay, Blow Dart, go to sleep. Cool. We revisit Litchfield Prison after this.
People think all we do is have lesbian sex and strip searches and naked cat fights in the shower. We also do other things.
EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dungeon Hunter 5, which you can play for free on iOS and Android right now.
This is some great news. Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions, which was a fantastic update to the Geometry Wars franchise on console and PC. You can play it on the Mac. Well, now you can play it on your iPhone, and it's phenomenal. Looks incredible, and it also has MFI support. Now, a big part of the enjoyment of this game is the adventure mode, which kind of gives you a whole bunch of unique challenges as you work your way up, including boss fights as you work your way from a square to square. It almost sets it up like a board game. Incredibly fun, incredibly addictive, and tied into Facebook friends leaderboard kind of system, so that's going to hook you instantaneously. And it's just incredibly tuned and super fun. There's lots of really cool twin-stick shooters for this platform, but bar none, this is the best you can get right now. This is incredibly, incredibly well put together. I love Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions, and this may be my favorite version of the game because it's always with me. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I can't believe that game works so well on your phone.
Well, let's leave neon-lit space behind and head back to the musty, claustrophobic confines of Litchfield Prison.
Oh, it doesn't look that claustrophobic, but Vic and I check in with my girl, Piper Chapman, with Orange is the New Black.
You're going to the shoe!
No, you're a liar. She's fine. B is fine. She's coming back for me.
Hey. Take care of your girl.
Big and I just took a short visit to Litchfield Prison for the 3rd season of Orange is the New Black. We've only seen the first 2 episodes, though, just so we could bring you our review.
Will we keep watching kind of review?
Right, but it's also will we binge? Will we start binging?
Right.
Because this is a Netflix show, it's a Netflix-created show, and it's done so well. These first 2 seasons have done really well. People are loving the show.
Yep.
We are back in the women's prison, of course. Piper Chapman is still in there, but now that the 2nd season has passed, you realize that you actually get to know a lot of the other characters in the prison, much more than Piper herself.
Yeah, that's a big deal for the first 2 episodes that we've seen here. It really has become this massive ensemble. There are so many characters, and I have to be honest, I kind of fell away after, sort of midway through in the 2nd season. It wasn't holding my interest, but man, this season is starting off incredibly strong.
How am I back here?
Wow, it's so nice to see you guys back together.
In the first episode, I was a little concerned because every time I saw Piper and I saw Alex, I was taken away a little bit. I didn't really want to watch their story anymore. I was actually more interested in everyone else in the prison because I just felt like it's the same old stuff with Piper and Alex, just over and over again. They're just getting back into their relationship again, and I don't want to spoil too much, of course, but it just seemed really whiny to me, and I wasn't interested in anything they had to say. But after the 2nd episode,
things get explained a little bit because Alex is suddenly back in the prison, and she had gotten out of the prison, and you know, it's confusing as an audience member to sit back and what's the backstory? Why is she back in there, and why are they close together again?
Yeah, you need to do a little recap, I think, on season 2, which is great because it's right there for you. The thing is with the show, though, is getting into the backstories of all these characters. So they're still doing the same thing they were doing a lot of last season, which is showing us a flashback of each inmate's life.
Yes.
Sometimes not warranted. Like sometimes I just felt like I don't want to see this. I don't care enough about you or your backstory.
There are a lot of cursory characters. Yeah. That's kind of the value of the show. You do have to give it a little bit of patience. I think one of the best things about the show is that there's a lot of performers in here that you can tell haven't had tons and tons of work before, but they're very interesting, and they're also not typical. They're not the kinds of faces that you traditionally see on television. The types and the people and the faces and the personalities that you see in the show are incredible.
People think all we do is have lesbian sex and strip searches and naked catfights in the shower. We also do other things.
I'm along for the ride as well, even though sometimes the acting is a little suspect, like I kind of just cringe a little bit. I'm still along for the ride because I do believe it. I still believe it, and I love how not only are there different types of characters, but there are a lot of different types of bodies here. These are real women. You know what? They're not afraid to show that they're real women, and I'm so proud watching this as a woman and not feeling like, you know what? I wish I looked like that girl. And like I wish that I had that body because
it's not just a parade of models,
no,
right?
you have that like body dysmorphia thing when you start watching some of these TV shows sometimes. And this I just feel like I'm really watching something that's real, even though it's all, you know, a little bit of fluff. It's a little over the top because I doubt prison is actually like this. Yeah,
and the roughness, I think, really helps the quality and the experience. And we're also dealing with subject matter that, you know, is uncomfortable. And I think that's kind of the beauty of the show, is that it makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you think. It makes you feel for these characters. I had a lot of fun, and I'm back. I definitely want to keep watching Orange is the New Black. What are you going to give it?
It gets a 7.5.
It gets an 8.5 for me.
My girls doing it for themselves.
Oh, yeah. And up next, Steve and Raju are here with a review of Catlateral Damage.
Catlateral?
You'll understand when you see the review.
Yes, I love my Smash Brothers and my Street Fighters, but my favorite fighting game series still to this day is Soul Calibur, because I love the weapon-based combat. And these games have been very successful, but they've also tried some very interesting things, including story modes and stuff. It's a solid, fantastic, fast fighting game with lots of great characters, lots of things to collect and customize, lots of great weapon combat. But you also get to play as Yoda, who's a bit of a cheap character because he's small and fast and has a lightsaber. Now that's on the 360 version. The PS3 version, you get Darth Vader. And that's what makes this game so special. You've got 2 Star Wars characters. This game came out right around the time that the prequels were still hitting the theaters, and there were all kinds of big Star Wars deals going on. It was a bit of a weird amalgamation of some really big, huge brands in gaming, but it worked. And if you've got an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of Soul Calibur 4. It's absolutely a buried treasure.
Thanks, Vic. Now it's time for me to talk about my cats. I have 2 of them. They are, without a doubt, the greatest pet you can possibly have. Yes, they've destroyed all my furniture, and yes, they poop into a box of sand. And yes, having 2 cats as a single guy is apparently a kind of red flag for the women I try to date. Yes, I'm talking about you, Heather. But cats are the best, and I just wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to introduce the next review. It's Catlateral Damage. Here's Stephen Raju.
I gotta confess, I'm a dog lover. I'm no fan of the cats. Cats are douchebags. They are douchebags.
They're not that bad.
They're douche cats. And today we're looking at a game that epitomizes the douchiness of cats. This is called Catlateral Damage. It is a little indie game in which you basically play as a cat that runs around the house, knocking stuff over and breaking things.
Okay, first off, this is the best name game I think in a long time. Come on, Catlateral Damage.
It is puntacular.
That is amazing. I gotta say, this is cute. I do like the day glow rooms, but runs out of enjoyment really fast. This is like a one joke thing that just, you're done.
You said it's a one-trick kitten.
One-trick kitten.
It's a one-trick kitten. I fully agree. Like, I mean, people were going nuts for this game before it came out on Steam. They're like, oh yeah, you get to run around the house, knock books over. And in the game, you run around the house, you knock books over, you knock stuff off the kitchen counter, you knock things out of the fridge, you go in the closet and wreck stuff. That's all there is.
That's all there is.
And it really gets kind of old after a short amount of time. It's like, I get it. Cats are dicks. I don't like cats. This is kind of what they do. They should be, I mean, there's not even like a crap in the litter box component of the game, or a shred the furniture kind of component. It's all about knocking stuff down.
So that's just it. So there's basically 2 modes to this game. There's objective mode and litter box mode. Now, objective mode means that you have a time limit and you're supposed to get to some sort of point level by knocking over so much stuff. Litter box mode, it just doesn't matter. You can just knock over whatever you want. You can swipe at things. Your paw can come out. That's about it. And then the only other thing is there are power-ups available and random occurrences. I have to say, I did love the moon gravity thing.
The moon gravity is awesome. That's how you get on top of the fridge or on top of the high
shelf. So you basically, it's like 1/6 gravity or something along those lines, and you can get way higher. And I mean, there's a disco ball one too, where all of a sudden you're discoing out while you're destroying stuff. But
Yeah, I know. Like, there's different environments. You got the house, you got the log cabin, you got like the supermarket, stuff like that. But they're all, I think they're randomly generated. They seem to be kind of procedurally randomly
similar.
generated.
They're
so
super similar. So
and it's all kind of the same stuff. I mean, the thing too is, like, there's not even a satisfying crash when you break this up. When you knock the plasma TV off the thing, it just shatters. It's just like goes kind of, makes kind of like a little electronic noise. It's like, come on, if I'm gonna break stuff as a cat, let there be like smashing dishes and like stuff flying all over the place. But no, I mean, it's a little indie game made by, I assume, like one guy or a very small studio.
Yeah.
It's more successful as a joke than it is actually as a game.
Yes, that's about it. I even think that even cat lovers, there is not much there for them. It's funny. I found that obviously you unlock more and more cats, and the cats are so cute. Like, the cats are so cute. But the thing is then you're from the first-person perspective, so you can't even see the cute cat.
You get that one kind of spin around the cat as you start, and that's all the time you see the cat model. And there's all these little photos of cats all over the place. And there's like 200 something of these real-world cat pictures that you can collect. We come to this so often where we see an indie game, the cool idea, and I don't want to knock people who are making games. Like, good for you for getting out there and making a cat destruction simulator. But really, there's just not much game here. I mean, it's cute for 10, 20 minutes, and then I don't think I would ever go back and touch it again.
It's an afternoon tops, really, and like, I mean, even that, by the end, you will be pulling teeth or coughing up fur balls or something, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. It's one of these fascinating. There could have been more here, maybe in like if you actually got to use the litter box. If there was perhaps a bit more physics in the destruction, I think that there's more, and there's actually more stuff to do in the house.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
I think maybe cat toys. Maybe some cat toys to play around with or something.
Future DLC. Catlateral Damage DLC.
Or the game starts off where you are like super angry at your owner for leaving home. If I could scratch him when he came home.
I know. What are you going to scratch Superior? Like, wreck the furniture.
Stuff. Yes,
do all the other horrible things that horrible cats horribly do. Obviously, this is not a perfect game.
I feel like we're being a bit catty, but I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I'm right with you. 5.5 for Catlateral Damage.
Thanks, boys. Well done. And for the record, I'll be playing that game all night long tonight. So, Heather, don't call me because I'm going to be busy. Unless, of course, you want to call me and you still have my number. Twitter question of the day is next after this.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It's time now for the best part of today's show. It is the Twitter question of the day. This one comes from Anil Haroon. He is at Creekster 2005. I guess 2004 must have been taken. Let's see what Anil has to say. Love how Scott is letting his facial hair grow out. Beard on, dear sir. Beard on. Well, that's more of a statement.
Not a question, yes.
No, I am enjoying the facial hair as well. I do like facial hair.
Yes.
On myself and also on men. I have to just take care of. I tweeze a few of them out for the show because, you know, it's hard out there for an Italian lady.
To Marissa's TMI hour. This is amazing.
Well, Scott's not here to talk about his beard.
Well, I think what we had to do in the show, though, we've had to give his beard an extra credit in the at the end of the show, right? Yeah. Scott's beard, and actually, the beard is actually giving games a higher score than Scott, which is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, so there's conflict there.
That's interesting.
Everywhere he goes, he creates conflict.
Well, he does talk about the fact that it's very tough to groom, and then he has to buy his own separate like shampoo for the beard, which I think is a little too much. But it's fine. That's just how Scott does things.
Sounds like him. All right, remember you can get caught up on all kinds of EP fun at epn.tv.
We have more coming for you in an upcoming episode of EP Daily, including a furious new look at the Mad Max game.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox.
There is a deeper thought behind this story, like in all the films and in the game now. It's how Max goes through a constant loop of being crazy or mad, and then he gets in contact with people. He gets a little bit more sane, and then some bad things happen and he goes mad again. So there is actually a deeper story than you think about. Like